It's Happy Hour from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com, brought to us today by Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. If you like to drink at night and be able to think in the morning, one shot of Hangover Destroyer lets you have all the fun and no side effects. Google Hangover Destroyer to check it out, or if you can remember, if you haven't got totally drunk yet, go to hdestroyer.com. Also brought to us today by Petite Pet Care. If you're going out of town or you have a schedule that keeps you away from home, the folks at Petite Pet Care understand that some pets are fine going to a kennel or a doggy daycare center. I assume that's only for dogs, but others prefer the comfort of their own home. For loving care when you're not there, Petite Pet Care can be found at petitepetcare.com. Believe it or not, when you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limo or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans. And this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common, other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. In this case, we're at Wayfair on the new Ferret Street, Uptown New Orleans. Wayfair is a restaurant and a bar serving handcrafted food and spirits. Chef Kevin White puts fine dining into a sandwich. And if you're wondering if that's just some sort of bullshit slogan, let me just tell you this. Before he moved to New Orleans, Chef Kevin not only cooked alongside Mario Batali in New York, but here at Wayfair, he cures his own meat. And there it is hanging up in that little room behind us. This guy's really taking the sandwich to a whole new level here at Wayfair. The bartenders also make a bunch of awesome Wayfair special cocktails, and they have a 3-hour happy hour every day from 4 to 7 here at Wayfair on Ferret Street, where I'm going to introduce you right now to my fabulous guests sitting around the table here for happy hour. Sitting straight across from me is the wonderful Lisa McKenzie. Hello, Lisa.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming. Lisa's the founder and CEO. Are you the CEO?
Yes,
oh, that's quite a big deal.
Top dog.
Okay, the top dog over at Ula Bra. Ula Bra makes over 100 styles of bra straps designed to be seen. The company's motto is, "We lift you up." Okay. What do you think of that?
That's clever.
That's clever. The straps literally lift a woman up, solving the problem of gravity women experience when they wear the dreaded strapless bra. Kelcy, have you got a strapless bra in your collection?
Did you say can I or do I?
Do you?
Do I own one?
Do you own a strapless bra? Yes? Okay. All right, we'll get on to the minute. Lifting women up is more than a marketing motto at Ula Bra. It embodies the spirit of Lisa's company. Lisa and Ula Bra produce empowering events for women where breast cancer survivors walk the runway as part of a journey toward health and victory over cancer. So, Lisa, welcome to Happy Hour.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming across the lake. So the headquarters of Ula Bra is across the lake in Covington or Mandeville or somewhere?
In Covington.
In Covington.
Yes.
What does it look like, the Ula
The
Bra
headquarters?
office? Is there a lot of bra straps hanging around? And
Big, bustling,
metropolis.
lots of bra straps. There's 3 of us who are in the office. It's about a 1,500 square foot warehouse.
Is it all women?
All women.
It's an all-women business, the bra strap
Yes.
is. You'd expect that would be
Yes,
the
and
case.
because I do the runway shows, I have a lot of our runway participants, the models, the cancer survivors will come by and visit and are on committees to help us with future programming. So there's always all kinds of really positive activity taking place there.
I have a lot of questions about cancer survivors, but that'll come up in just a minute. Let me introduce you first of all to Keith LeBlanc. Hi, Keith.
Hey, how are you?
You're
Thanks
the
for
second
having me.
person called Keith LeBlanc we've had on Happy Hour in about the last month.
That would be my son.
The other guy was your son.
That's correct.
And he's a
Lot smarter than
skin
me.
surgeon. He's a lot smarter than you.
Absolutely.
Does it skip a generation or what?
I think so.
Okay. Were your parents smart? Or they weren't?
No, they were fine.
They were.
I'm teasing. They were smart.
I can't
also.
figure out now who's who. So you're the one who's not smart.
I'm the one who missed. Exactly.
Oh, well, you look great, though. That's the main thing, right?
There you go.
You're very handsome and fit.
Yes.
Do you work out or you go to the gym or what?
Cycle and swim.
Cycle and swim, that's what it is. Okay.
Love to cycle.
Okay. So let me tell the world something about you. Keith LeBlanc is the co-founder and you're a CEO as well.
All around
what are
the
the
table.
chances of having 2
Wow.
CEOs right next to each other? This is the incredible piece of programming. Keith LeBlanc is the founder and CEO of MHM Urgent Care. Oh, in 2006, Keith returned to his home in hurricane-ravaged New Orleans with a vision to make urgent care services available in southeast Louisiana. Good man. I've been to that urgent care place on Magazine Street twice.
Very good.
If it
Dr.
wasn't for
Aber,
urgent
Dr.
care,
Peacock?
I don't know their names actually, but they saved my life twice.
Very good.
Is that at the corner of?
It's right across from the Boulangerie there.
Exactly. Cadiz.
Oh, okay.
Cadiz, I
Cadiz.
think it's pronounced.
Yes.
Yes. Do you live on the North Shore as well?
I live on the North Shore as well. Old Mandeville.
You're in Old Mandeville and you're in Covington, and you're both CEOs.
Yes. There's
Okay,
a
things are
lot of
picking up.
talent over there.
Things are really picking up around here. Let's keep reading. So you opened urgent care. How interesting.
Yeah, actually, I have to. My partner, Dr. Satanovich, had one.
Are you a doctor?
No, I'm a hospital administrator by trade.
Okay.
All my friends in Houston thought I was absolutely out of my mind to be moving back
How many friends
home.
do you have in Houston?
Well, not many left because I was in the surgery center business there. So, Katrina hit. We thought there was an opportunity. Everybody thought we were crazy. Business has just been fantastic for the last 8 years.
Wow, that's a really great idea. I see now you have 11 urgent care centers across Louisiana and South Mississippi, with several new centers planned to open.
3 more this year.
All in New Orleans?
Hammond, Covington, and Mid-City right on Carrollton and Bienville.
Well, we're going to have to talk about this, about how this all works, the urgent care business, in just a minute. Let me finish this. For his achievements in business and the community, Keith was nominated to the City Business Moneymakers class of 2013. What does that mean? The Moneymakers class? That doesn't sound too good.
I think it's an entrepreneur. They try to recognize the entrepreneurs that have been financially successful.
So there's a lot of money in urgent care.
There is a lot of money in healthcare.
This is good to know, right? Truth looking at you thinking, I wonder if the guy could help me out.
No, it's interesting.
In recognition of MHM urgent care clinics providing free diabetes testing, that's a nice thing to do. Keith was recently named 2014 Father of the Year.
Really fun.
I thought it was going to say by the Catholic Church, but it's by the American Diabetes Association.
Really fun. The event was
Father
last
of the
Thursday night.
Year.
There were actually
What
five of us.
What did they give you for Father of the Year?
I think the intent there is to create a fraternity of business leaders who have some connection to diabetes.
Right.
So it's been going on for 60 years in other cities. It's actually only the second year here. But over time, they want fathers who are good fathers, but also have some connection to their cause with diabetes, and just trying to get a fraternity out into the community.
So if I go to the urgent care, I can get free diabetes testing?
For the entire year. Yeah, so you can go into any one of our urgent cares on any day, just walk in, and we'll give you what's called a hemoglobin A1C. It tests your sugar for the last 30 days.
Okay.
So it gives you an average. We started about 6 weeks ago, and we've already identified about 250 people who had diabetes that didn't know they had it.
Wow, so that's a great, sort of a lost leader. You get them to come in, you get the free diabetes treatment, then you find out you've got diabetes, you're in a lifetime of drug needs then.
Well, and actually we
Brilliant idea.
We don't do disease management, so we would refer them out, but we do hope they walk in and go, golly, this is really cool, I didn't know you were here.
Okay, that's a very interesting business model. I can see why you're one of the 2013 Moneymakers of the Year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good call. Let me introduce you all to Truth Universal.
Hello.
Hello, Truth Universal is a New Orleans hip-hop artist originally from Trinidad.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Who moved here at the age of 4. So thank goodness you moved here at 4, because now you can still say you went to high school here, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I'm practically New Orleans.
Yeah, I would say so, but still, you weren't born here, so you,
no, my
you can't
roots are
get
Trinidad. I'm not.
But you went to high school, which is the key.
That's the key.
Which high school did you go to?
I went to McDonald 35.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah, class of 91. Very good.
Okay. McDonald 35.
I'm
okay.
a little biased, but everything is pretty good.
That's meant to be good, right, Kelcy? What high school did you go to?
C.E. Bird High School.
Oh, you went to C.E. Bird in Lafayette or somewhere else?
Shreveport.
Shreveport. I should have known that by now.
All right.
Anyway, listen, it was a few years later in 2000 that Truth released his first EPs, Put It On Your Mind, and Plantation Graffiti, The Naked Truth Dressed to Kill. In 2008, Truth's debut full-length record, Self-Determination, was a critical and commercial success, launching a career that has seen Truth Universal tour the country, appearing everywhere from New Orleans Jazz Fest to Toronto, Mexico City, and most points in between. Well, Toronto and Mexico City aren't in this country even.
Was that?
Toronto and Mexico City aren't in this country. So
But
in
then
his
North
tour of the
America.
country, you've been an international.
That's not
You can
entirely true.
say that.
If you've been to Southern California, you could question that comment.
Which, whether California is a part of America?
Or Mexico's a part of the United States.
Oh, you think Mexico is more of a part of the United States, or California is a part of Mexico?
Either or.
Okay, well, we'll get on to that in a minute as well. Truth Universal's music appears in movies and on TV. Truth has been featured in hip-hop publications around the world, and he's continued to record. His latest album, Invent the Future, is coming out.
It's come out.
It's out?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's been out since October.
Since October of 2013.
2013. Yep.
Well, this is a little out of date then, my intro here.
Well, we're still pushing. We still have singles coming out, video projects, so it's practically new.
Are you going to play something for us today off
I
of
will
it?
do that.
You're going to do something live off that?
Yes.
Cool, okay. And Andrew Duhon is not here, but Kelcy Mae is. Hi, Kelcy.
Oh,
Welcome
thank
back to
goodness.
Happy Hour.
Thank you.
Thank God you made it. What are you drinking today? Gin and tonic?
Today I'm having a gin and tonic.
Good idea.
And a
What
little
do you
water.
guys got? Keith's got a beer,
A beer.
and a beer, and Elisa's got a margarita.
Very good, too.
It's a very good margarita. They
Yes.
make good drinks here at Wayfair, that's for
Delicious.
sure. Truth's on the ginger ale.
Yes, sir.
That does look good, though, actually.
It tastes
as
wonderful.
well. Hey, so tell us something about opening the healthcare business, Keith. What What gave you the idea to come back here after Katrina? And why didn't you think of it before?
Well, a partner of mine had one. He was an ER physician, so he had one out in Kenner. I think the real stimulating factor was the number of physicians and hospitals that closed. So
Right.
if you looked at Katrina, somewhere around 2,000 physicians left the marketplace and 6 hospitals closed. Part of it was personal. My son was in med school. My parents live here. My wife's parents live here, so we wanted to come home.
What did you do before that?
I was originally a hospital CEO. I had been in the surgery
Which
center
hospital?
business. Humana Hospital out in New Orleans East.
Okay.
I was out there for 10 years.
And what happened to that? That closed down after Katrina, so you didn't have a job.
No, I left way prior to that. I left and went into business myself 20 years ago, so what would that be?
Oh, what were you doing for yourself?
I was in the practice management business, and then I went into the surgery center business, and now in the urgent care, so all in healthcare.
But you're not a doctor at all. You've
No.
never been to medical school, never
No, I
been near
haven't-
medical school, except pay for your son to go through medical school.
Yeah, I paid for him to go through medical
Which
school.
one did he go to?
He was at University of Virginia, and then he came home to LSU Med School.
Okay.
So I started out as a respiratory therapist. So originally I was working in a neonatal intensive care unit for babies, and then graduate school in administration. That's when I went into the business side of medicine. Been on the business side ever since.
Well, Lisa, what did you do before bra straps? 'Cause you haven't been a bra strap inventor your whole entire life, I assume.
All my life, I was born wearing bra straps.
That's a funny visual, actually.
Yes, I actually think I've been an entrepreneur since I was 9 years old. I feel like I'm actually living out my dream right now, doing everything I wanted to do as a 9-year-old.
Having a margarita,
drinking margaritas here with all of
sitting
you was
between two good-looking men.
My final goal in life.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So things are working out.
They're working out.
That's
yes.
fantastic.
No, I wanted to. My dream was to be a Broadway producer,
Really?
and to be a television reporter.
At 9 years old.
At 9 years old,
Where were you at 9?
in California, and producing shows for the neighborhood. I'd sell tickets. But now, all these years later, I've always been an entrepreneur. I worked for several years down at the convention center. I'm from California, from San Diego. And
How'd you get to New Orleans?
I got a contract at the Montreal Convention Center that lasted about 15 years. It was.
You came here specifically to work at the convention
Yes.
center.
Yep. We took a chance. We love New Orleans. We came here quite frequently for business and contracts in the convention industry, and we were offered a position as a contract inside the building as the business center.
As what?
Sort of like a FedEx Kinko's. We were the business center on the corner of Andrew Higgins and inside the building from 1997 to 2010.
So all these people that come here for conventions and they need photocopying and all that crap, you did all that?
Yes, we were, Jimmy on the spot for everything they needed to get them, they'd spent a lot of money coming into town to have their exhibits at the convention center, and we were, the last minute crisis center for them to get.
That sounds
stuff
like
off.
a license to print money, that business, doesn't it?
At the time it was,
Yeah.
but Katrina created a little bit of a downfall, but what really changed the business model.
You could say that.
Put it
yeah.
mildly,
Well,
yes.
what we were put out of business for 9 months, so the convention center was shut down. But aside from that, about that time, the country went green. So we used to print millions of documents for all the seminars. It was pre-internet, so you didn't refer people to a website or give out a business.
Pre-internet, was this like 1963 or something?
Well, you would think so, right? But even in, let's just say 2004, it was still unique to hand out a business card that had a website to go get the information about a company.
Really?
Instead, you would hand out a PowerPoint document that was full color. And so we'd be printing a lot of paper. And then slowly but surely, people started saying, oh, I could just pick up that information on my cell phone. The smartphones.
When did that start happening, Lisa?
I would
what
say
year
that
was it?
probably around 2007 is when I saw a drastic dip. I had 15 employees and we got down to 1, where it was, we just didn't have the need to have as many people handling business services in the traditional way that it used to run. People they would present the students would come in and give presentations using 35 millimeter slide projectors. And we used to make instant slides. I mean, it makes me sound really old, but that was just
2004.
yeah. It wasn't that long ago.
So how long did it take you to fire the 15 people? Was it all in the space of a year? Or 6 months, or overnight, or what?
Over probably 2 or 3 year period where we saw the writing on the wall that, we'd have huge groups come into town, like the American College of Cardiology is an example. And 15 of us couldn't handle the lines at both our locations, where it got to the point where one person would say, I got it covered. It just because really the business center became more about shipping packages at the end of the show.
Right.
And less
So
about
you must have got
documenting.
pretty good at firing people.
Yeah, I'm really good at that. So.
What's the technique for firing someone? That's the most gentle and humane way.
Oh, you call them into the office and you give them a watch and. I mean,
it must be pretty horrible. Right?
Complimentary bra strap.
Yeah, bra strap. Well, so
that was before the bra strap.
Just a single bra strap, though, not
just
two,
the
not
one
two of them.
for the single shoulder. But there are dresses that only have that like one shoulder, right?
That's true.
Oh, lots. Yeah.
So you cater for that as well. So what do you say to someone though when they've been your employee and they've made some money for you and you've worked together for all this time, shoulder to shoulder, and now you have to fire them?
Well, fortunately, we had a couple businesses, so some of them transferred into the other business that was doing pretty well. And I think just what starts happening is you just don't have hours for them, and they go and find other employment. I mean, it's the sad fact of life, but I've only once had to really fire somebody just because they were stealing.
They're stealing.
Caught them in the safe.
Caught them in the safe.
In the safe.
Not only stealing, but stupid.
So that's hard. That's hard
that
because
is bad.
but other than that, it's just sort of over time they start seeing that there's just not hours.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants to talk about bra straps rather than firing people. Don't
I know,
they?
isn't that more
I know
fun?
Truth is waiting for me to get onto the bra strap subject. So, Truth, what do you do during the day? You're not a full-time hip-hop guy, right? You've got some sort of fancy gig as well.
I'm an IT guy. I'm a computer programmer by day.
Right.
I've also been an adjunct professor teaching technology and a music business program at Loyola as well, because that's where the two things meet. I never thought they would, but they did. So I taught.
Yeah, they have a music business school there. What do you teach over there?
It's multimedia production. Excuse me, multimedia production, which is basically a website building for music majors. Yeah,
that's a pretty good idea. So these kids actually leave school with some real world knowledge of how to get the message out.
Right, how to deal with the marketing side of things, the business and marketing side of things. Loyola is a beautiful place. From the outside looking in, it looked cool. These guys go there and they learn their music or they practice their skills and hone their skills or whatever. But it's a well-rounded program.
Right.
The business side is sound, as well as the technical side in terms of them dealing with the instruments and production and things of that nature.
How do you know how to do all this? Did you go to school for this stuff too?
On the music side?
No, the music side. Well, no. No, you're a self-taught musician, I
well,
assume, right?
Well, I deal with electronic music, and it's less. There's less of a need for training to do that.
Right.
I mean, I have played instruments. Coming up, like I played trumpet for a while, and so I know how to read music.
Do you really? That's impressive, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I know what a quarter note and a half note is.
Do you know that, Kelcy?
No,
As a musician?
no clue.
No idea.
Yes, I do. Of course, I was actually a student in that program.
At Loyola?
At Loyola. Mhm.
Okay.
Did you have Truth as your adjunct professor?
No, I think this was a minute
This is
before.
recently.
This is when
Before
they still
Truth
had
arrived.
PowerPoint. You were there when they had PowerPoint
Yeah,
presentations.
exactly. We did a lot of PowerPoint back then.
Are you
Yeah.
still teaching?
There was
there,
no
Truth?
website training.
I haven't been called back yet, but I will be.
Do they
as
call
I'm
you?
told.
Do they call you Professor Universal?
It's
I
a
hope
bunch of
so.
different things. I don't know what they call me some things behind my back too, but it's Professor Ujasiri, is what they call
That's
me.
your real name.
Yeah, or Mr. Ujasiri. Yep.
Ujasiri.
Huh?
And how do you say that?
Ujasiri.
Ujasiri.
Yes.
Ujisere.
Ujasiri.
Ah, okay. And what's that from?
It's East Africa.
From That's Trinidadian?
No, it's Africa.
So where'd
East
that come
Africa.
from? From
It's
East
a Swahili
Africa.
name.
Swahili?
Yeah.
You don't speak Swahili by any chance, do you?
Not a lot of it. No.
Do you speak any of it?
I mean, basic stuff.
You do?
No. I'm going to say no because I don't want you to.
I'm not going to ask you to sing, I'm not going to ask you to
I'm
sing
gonna say
anything in
no.
Swahili. I don't think I've ever met anyone who speaks Swahili. You know those little yellow and black books you used to get called Teach Yourself something or other before something for
Right.
dummies? It was the predecessor of
Notes?
something for dummies. Somebody gave me one like Swahili for dummies for a joke, and I still have it though. So
Yeah.
maybe I could get it out and get the Rosetta Stone. So how hard is it to learn?
It's pretty hard. Yeah.
What's the trick? Are there like guttural sounds or?
No, it's actually a language developed before the guttural sounds made their way into like Eastern languages. So
Right. Is there any
There-
clicking like those African?
no, there's no like that. You're
What
talking
does
about
it
like
sound-
Zulu languages.
What does it sound like then? Now I'm going to make you
It's
say
close. It's close to Arabic.
wow.
Ujasiri is Swahili. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's my first that's my first Swahili word, Ujasiri. It's close to Arabic. Oh, that's interesting. So it came from the same.
Actually, Arabic was infused for trade. So there are a bunch of Arabic words scattered throughout, but
Right.
it's not really in Arabic. It's not really Arabic, but there are Arabic words in the language.
Okay. So just to be completely ignorant, what does East Africa mean? Was that what countries are in East Africa?
Oh, Kenya, Tanzania. If you want to go low, I'm just trying to think. Somalia doesn't really speak. There are some Swahili in Somalia, but not much. But
So where does your family come from? Or the Swahili?
my family is Trinidadian.
But back before, they don't speak Swahili in Trinidad, do they?
No.
They
No.
speak English in Trinidad.
This is a taken name by my family.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
They adopted that
Yes,
name?
they adopted the name.
Ah, okay. So they moved to America and became Ujasiri.
No.
They did that in Trinidad. They were
Yeah,
Ujasiri.
my father.
Well, they came here at 4 when you were 4. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do that.
You will?
What do you think?
What you thinking about?
I could something better than Morris.
You gonna
What could I
consult
go
your teach yourself?
with? I could get it out of the book. I could get it out of the Swahili book. That's a cool name. What does Ujasiri mean then?
It means bravery.
Very well. If you're going to choose a name, you might as well choose something like Truth Universal.
Right.
Something like that.
Right. I remember last time we talked about your name. You told me that you are not Truth Universal. You're seeking.
You remember
Truth.
that, don't you?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I don't remember much, but I remember that you're seeking Truth Universal.
Right.
Is that still true, or have you found it?
I mean, I found it just yesterday.
Where was it?
No, man, it's that's a journey. That's something. That's a journey you go on and you don't come back. So I don't think it'll ever be found. But it's the point that you're seeking it. So in seeking something, you may act a certain way, live a certain way, and those things are just, divine, and honest, and that's on the path to it.
But
So,
the journey is the destination in a sense, though, isn't it? I mean, you're never going to get to.
man, you're
never going to get to
away with
truth.
The words, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But isn't that true, though?
But in a sense, yes. In a
Yeah.
sense, yes.
Yeah, because there is no such thing as the truth. I mean, there's no point that you're going to get to the end and figure out the truth. You have to figure it out as you go along, and it can be adjusted as you realize
I'll
you've
say
made
I'm
some.
not qualified to just make that statement, but I think yes, I think you may be right.
Well, if I'm qualified to make it, you're qualified to make it, aren't you? Aren't we all qualified? Lisa, don't you feel there's a...
Let's get a CEO in on this.
Well,
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Somebody with
From a
a drink.
CEO's perspective,
Yes.
I would say that if you found the truth and you stop seeking it, then you get complacent. And so I think as long as you're always on that journey, you are seeking a better self.
Yeah, I think it's a never-ending journey, and if you think you found it, it's an imperfect. So it
Right.
still be perfected. So it's a never-ending thing.
But Lisa, I found something in your bio here that they gave me that I thought was cool. It says that can't isn't one of my options unless I feel certain that God closes a door on something.
Oh yeah, I do. I live my life that way, 100%.
That God makes decisions.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Most of my major decisions that I try to make are based on whether or not I think God is opening or closing doors on that opportunity. And so, if something comes along, like for instance, the runway show that was produced last October, I had a lot of people tell me, "You're crazy. There's no way you can put something together." It was lots of details in that short amount of time. And I said, well, if you say you can't, then that will be the outcome. But what if we changed our mindset to we can? And I said, why don't we just see if God opens or closes doors on this opportunity? And we'll just make some phone calls. We'll start seeing how this unfolds. And the doors.
You didn't call God, Bunny.
I call him every day.
How do you get in touch with God?
Oh, you just
Skype.
it's immediate. I mean, I think people have different ways.
Right.
For me, it's just my own personal conversation with him.
What is your personal conversation? Not the content of it, but how do you pray, or do you just stop and meditate, or do you think, or do you...
I think it's all of that. I mean, I do yoga every day, and it helps. Sometimes when we're sitting there before the class begins, I'll be very contemplative and just, I'll be thankful for everything that's in my life. I always start off my day giving thanks for all the stuff I have, and then I sort of let what the challenges are. Say, okay, here's what's in front of me, and just I know it sounds very spiritual, but that's how I go about my days. Just order my steps and put before me what I can handle, and it's amazing what unfolds when you just sort of they say let go and let God, and I really prescribe to that.
When God closes a door, how do you know? That's what's interesting to me. I mean, everyone can take chances and go for it. How do you know when to stop?
Well, here's an example. Okay, so the contract I had at the convention center was a 3-year contract. Every 3 years it was renewed. So we'd get the contract at year 1, be really happy at year 2, and then by year 3 be panicking.
Be
right?
freaking out that it
Yes.
wouldn't be renewed,
Right.
and you're going to have to
And so then you go through the whole process. You fill out all the applications, you go compete against the people who are vying for that spot, and then you get awarded another 3 years.
Who's calling?
My son, so that's okay.
Should we talk to him?
He probably wants to know where the credit card is to order pizza, but so what would happen is for several years, 15 at least, 5 periods of that, I would, by the 3rd year, be in almost a state of panic that this contract might not be renewed, and I was really relieved at the end of the contract that door was closed, because it was just one of those things that you just know. The door closes, and for me, it's always been pretty obvious. There's not a lot of gray areas when doors close for me. It's like, this absolutely means I need to move on and focus my attention someplace else. The gray areas are the ones you kind of sit back and watch it unfold. But in business, for me, I've had a lot of doors really slam close, and you just know you're focusing on the wrong thing. Focus on something else.
Okay.
So
take it seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Truth, you want to play something for us?
Let's
talk about some music.
Let's play something from the new album, Invent the Future.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Do the
it's
title
out
track
now.
first. Out now. At all your digital retailers and some mom and pop shops that still carry physical product.
Okay. Yeah, well, there aren't many of those left.
There are a
that's
few
for
of
sure.
them. They're a lot less than they used to be, but they're a
Right.
good bit.
But you can find it on the internet.
Yes,
Where
sir.
all good music's stolen.
Yep, and it's and sold.
And so yes, you can buy it. I'm assuming. So we're going to play the track, and you're going to sing live over it.
Let's
do that. Okay. What song are you going to do?
This is Invent the Future. You could have played it. This is the title track, Invent the Future, produced by Pudge, featuring Nate, Suave, Cameron, and Evelyn Champagne. People, this is always weird. Yeah, check it. Look, I'ma stop to make it perfectly clear. If you're feeling it, well, let me see your hands in the air. Could ignore the black holocaust like I didn't care, but I respect my like black thought in the mirror. I'm a fixture, I ain't going anywhere. Not falling off, I show improvement every year. You intend to make me cease, you got trouble to bear. Feeling like Sinead O'Connor because nothing compares. If you look on a map, my location appears. Due South Louisiana, send my packages here. Worldwide, getting love from everywhere. We veterans of this, they hop on stage and flap no beer. But I prefer the perfect like Pamela Greer. And coffee is the color with the natural hair. Criminal minded like 87, letting it glare. Might get blinded if you stare directly into the glare. It's the sun, whack cats ending is near. If they prone to melanoma, I'm the one you should fear. You offended by the wording? Well, I do not care. Standing by my convictions as long as there's air flowing through my nasal passages, I stand on my square. 90 degrees in MC with the warrior flair, affecting social change. To my heart, their purpose is dear. Invent the future, main intent of my career. From crowds of people will come. Forever will show you that you're seeking us. From crowds of people will come. Forever that you're seeking. Invent the future. The beats are so nice that and then the rhymes are and the beats are
Oh, wow!
That was nice.
That's pretty hard to do, I would think, sitting at a little tiny
like
table staring at it. We're staring at you. It is.
Headphones?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. So how do you write that? You start off with the lyric?
A few different approaches. With that one in particular, had the track. Usually, it really starts with the track and see where it takes you and what you want to write about. That one, I got the track, and this happens a lot of times. You kind of work on a rhyme scheme, like a kind of scattered out, and then put the words together.
Do you start with a message? Do you have something to say, or that comes?
Sometimes with this one, not so much.
Right.
But a lot of times, yeah, it depends. No, there's some tracks. I mean, like take for instance some other tracks on the record. That was kind of like we call it like a freestyle track, and it just has like a bunch of different stuff thrown in. It's more to showcase the rhyme schemes than anything else. I have a song dealing with food scarcity and food access called "Food Fight." That's pretty focused, So it's the thing you have to make everything fit and rhyme, but still, stick to the topic. So that's one where a topic was involved. I have one about domestic violence. It's a narrative, actually. So you definitely have to stick to the topic with that. So
Right.
It a lot of times, I mean, it is topic driven, but sometimes it's not.
Where do you fit in the hip hop world?
Where do I fit in?
Yeah.
I was kind of honed in what's called the golden era. Like kind of that time from like 87 to about 97, right? And that was supposed to be the time that the best hip hop music came out. The best was made. So it's kind of like a classic sound, right? There's some music in there that it's called boom bap. It's kind of like real basic.
Right.
There's more soulful music in there that came about toward the end. So I'm kind of like, I draw from there, but I still innovate. So people who can identify with that golden era sound identify with my sound as well. So that's pretty much where I fit in.
You're sort of an intellectual.
You think so?
Well, I'm wondering about that. It doesn't.
You wonder?
With a name like Truth Universal, you're wondering about that.
It's not like that sort of gangster hip hop or that angle.
Nah.
So where do you fit in? Are you like a?
Well, my music is classified usually as progressive or socially conscious, music.
Right.
So
are you part of the
first
southern thing, like the part of the?
I mean, I'm
New
in the
Orleans?
South,
Yeah.
so and I have a lot of friends who do it, and we kind of have like a loose coalition of sorts. So yeah, but I'm just an MC that I'm aware, mindful of showmanship, presentation, delivery. So I know I have to rock the crowd, but I know I have to also, because of just like my personal conviction, have some type of message, because I feel like I'm responsible for what I know. I'm responsible for trying to, help other folks out if I can, with the information that I have. So, that's definitely, a tenet of mine. That's why, I have a message in my music.
Do you have a spiritual side to it?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. I don't really push that. Like, it's not like religious rap. It's not spiritual rap per se. But I mean, because I am spiritual, I guess to some degree myself, it makes its way into the music.
So there's politics and the spiritual side.
Yeah.
In there. Which one is more important to get across? I mean, which one comes first in bringing about social change? I
think, they're both important, but I guess in terms of, presenting information and, some type of method to go about, affecting change, I guess the information would be most important in that regard.
You think?
In that regard, I mean, for what it is.
Sometimes if people could just figure out that we're all in it together.
Yeah.
This is a shared problem.
Right.
It's not your problem or my problem. That music does that.
Right. Right.
Especially music with a message does that.
Definitely. But I was just saying, like, it's kind of like if I'm asked about my place in music, like you kind of just asked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, does anybody want to hear that? It seems like people want to, really, like people want to listen to music to like release and party and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Well, hip hop anyway is what the perception is. So it's like, what's your place in it? But I know I'm an artist as well, so I present it in that way. So if I wasn't, mindful of being an artist, and I just want to, kind of like read information to you, I could lecture, and I could do something else, So it's all about. I'm saying that to say it's all about being mindful of what you're doing, and the arena that you're in, trying to get this whatever you're trying to get across. So since it's music, I think the aesthetics have to be there first, and I'm trying to give you something, so that has to be there. And I think once you come in and you kind of look around, you kind of feel like
it's like the urgent care.
What you asked about, you look, this place is nice.
Yeah. Once you get them in there, And they're like, oh.
And then you feel like, whatever spirituality there is, and once you're kind of like in tune and listening.
So you get the music comes first,
yeah,
and then the message comes second, and hopefully some sort of spiritual revelation or connection
eventually
is made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the injury, and then the treatment, and then the bill.
Wow.
Right?
Delivered.
So how's it? What's up with urgent care? How do you know when you're being successful?
Oh, as far as the volume, it's not much. These are small clinics. They're, to a certain degree, freestanding ERs. We judge our success based on we keep adding new clinics and the number of people that return.
What used to happen before you guys came along?
I think it's probably a problem that's been brewing for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
If you look at medical school students and the number of them that come out in primary care, it continued to decrease for a 20-year period, and now all of a sudden we have a huge shortage of primary care docs.
You can't even go to a primary care doctor anymore.
Well, that's our business. People ask us all the time, what happens with Obamacare? It takes you about 2 weeks to get an appointment with your primary care doc. If you're sick today and you got to wait 2 weeks, it's not going to be good.
Well, what happens with Obamacare? Good question.
Well, I think, quite frankly, it puts 30 million people that didn't have insurance with insurance. It provides greater access.
It's good for the insurance company, as far as in that sense.
We've got a system that's crowded, that's getting more crowded every day. And our little niche, my partner's family's in the restaurant business, so Jerry always teases we're in the chicken and biscuit business. That's all we do. But we do really good at chicken and biscuits.
What's Jerry's other name?
Satanovich.
So what's his
Drago's? His family is Drago's restaurant.
Right on. So you eat free at Drago's as well as owning a medical?
Oh, we don't eat free, but we eat a lot of char-grilled oysters and lobster.
You've got a pretty good setup now.
It's not bad.
You get free grub at Drago's and you got a free medical.
People love to come visit us. People from all over the country love to come. We want to come see what you're doing, Keith. They do not want to come see what we're doing. They want to go to the French Quarter and eat at Drago's and use it as an excuse for a business trip.
Well, that's the same thing where everyone finds in New Orleans, right, doing business here. Lisa, I bet you find that too. People love an excuse to come to New Orleans.
Oh yeah, it's completely unique to any city I've been in the United States. It's an awesome place. When I was living in San Diego, we had, like I said, contracts to come here quite often to do business. We were going all over the country, and it was always our favorite place to come to, and then we ended up moving here.
From Mexico.
From Southern California / Mexico.
Why would you move all the way to New Orleans and then live on the North Shore?
Children. I have young kids.
Oh, you have children. I
Yes.
thought you were attracted to children. Okay. How many kids have you got?
Well, at the time when I moved here, I had a 6-month-old, and we lived right across the street from the convention center. It was really cool as a Southern California girl to be in a city where you could walk to places, not have to get on a freeway to get around. Right. So that was really neat. But then as my son started getting older, he needed to be a place where he could run around, and so we moved to a suburb here on this side of the lake, and then I just found a house off the river, or the Chifuncto River, that I fell in love with. It's so southern, and it just reminded me a little bit more of Southern California because you have people boating out there, and I was always surprised on this side of the lake in New Orleans that you don't see a lot of water sports with how surrounded by water we are.
You can't get to the river hardly anywhere is the problem.
You can't. And
it's mostly, wharfs. It's commercial.
Yeah, so the Mississippi River obviously is a non-recreational
plus you can't really do much recreation on the Mississippi River.
Right. You don't see people going down in inner tubes ever. And
I don't think you're allowed to have a boat on the Mississippi.
No, I don't think so. I'm friends with a lot of the pilots who navigate the river. And
are you? Why is that?
Yeah.
Why? One of my advisors is married to a pilot, and they are major sponsors of my events, but it's a really fascinating business. If you ever have time to have a pilot on your show, they have a place called Pilot Town where they meet the ships that come in, and then they climb up a 50-foot swaying rope ladder to board the ships, and then they navigate those ships, whether it be a cruise ship or industrial ship, up the river because it's hard to navigate. It's really fascinating business.
It is. Where is Pilot Town?
I would like to. I don't know. You see it when you.
It's like
they
Funky
say
Town.
I know. They say that they have a grocery store, and I think that's it. But I'm very fascinated about Pilot Town. I think I would love to see it someday.
There's got to be a bar.
Yeah, there's got to be a bar.
There's gotta
and
they're sponsors of your events. The Cancer Walk thing. What's it called actually?
My event's called Unite, which is spelled YOUNIGHT, but it's Unite to unite a community. But they are one of our major patron sponsors.
So anyway, there you are sitting in your place in Covington, the Ulabra Central International Headquarters.
Yes.
So you have this idea, I'm going to have an event for cancer survivors, breast cancer survivors, I assume, right?
Well, it was breast cancer survivors until I had a 23-year-old call me and say she wanted to be in my event. And she said, I want to be in your show, but I have the wrong kind of cancer.
Did you say,
she
just
broke my heart.
hang up on her?
Oh, no, she broke my heart. I said, is
I
there
would
a
have
right
hung up
kind
on
of...
her. That's the
Oh,
wrong
really?
kind of cancer.
No.
Come on, you got to stay focused.
Oh, no.
What kind of cancer did she survive?
I think lymphoma. You're in the medical profession.
Yes.
Lymphoma. She's still going through treatment, and what happens is these women who come to us, many of them are still in treatment, getting infusions and still going through their chemotherapy, and their world is a very dark place. I mean, as a woman, their lives have changed, and they're losing their hair, lost it completely, their eyelashes, their breasts. I mean, it's a very despairing situation for them. So we come along, and the doctors refer them to our show so that they have months to start preparing mentally and emotionally for what they're going to feel like on that runway stage. So it takes them from a really dark place to a really positive outlook, and in the process, it's a place for healing for them. And then they get to celebrate with their friends and family who, of course, want them to finally be at that place in life where they're smiling again and looking amazing and feeling amazing.
So doctors recommend.
Yes, we call it
patients.
empowerment therapy. It's really, really, it's the most life-changing thing I've ever been involved in. And for the people who I've met. And what happens is they, as a group, because they go through 8 weeks of runway training and they learn how to pose for the camera, they become united as a group, and they have their own little sorority. You were talking about fraternity, but they become a sorority, and it's interesting how they impact the community. We call them role models.
Well, I can't be the first person to have thought of this, but there's got to be a TV show on this, right?
It's awesome. It's really great.
Has someone hit you up with that idea? Or a reality?
Well, we're growing. No, not a reality show, but I think that would be amazing. It would be so much fun.
No one's suggested that?
Well, we're only less than a year old, and we were doing. We just partnered with Ochsner here on this side.
Kelcy, get that contract.
Please call us.
I cannot believe. You guys agree with me? Can you? I can't believe that someone hasn't
well,
said
here's
that.
look behind the scenes. Like, for instance, one of our models last year, she put on Spanx. Do you know what Spanx are? Yep. So they make you look slim, and they keep the panty lines
What's
from
the
showing.
phone number for really?
Well, Spanx. And so then on top of that,
Bruce,
she
do you have any
decided.
Spanx?
Well,
No, I don't have any.
Wait, this is where the story. That's good.
Okay.
So just for fun, nobody knows why she did it. She put on some hot pink underwear on top of the Spanx before walking the runway. So right as she stepped onto the stage, the underwear fell down around her ankles, and so she kicked them off and then did her walk. Only women can relate to the fact that you cannot wear those two things together. They just are not meant to.
I didn't know. Kelcy, do you know anything about Spanx?
To be honest, I don't
I'm not
own
quite
any,
sure
so
how that works. No.
That's good.
I don't own any.
Okay,
but
the women
Truth
who are.
knows
I'm sure
a
it's
lot
only a
about
matter of
Spanx or
time,
something.
It's just yeah. So they're in
Keith,
terms
you got
of
any Spanx at your place?
No Spanx at my place.
Okay.
I think you're missing it, man. I think if you know women, you may know women
Spanx.
that have Spanx.
Wait, they're making Spanx for men
don't
now
have-
too. No, they are. They are making Spanx.
There
for
are
men.
Spanx for
All
men.
right.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm
Seek
gonna
the
get
truth. Seek the truth.
The truth is, I'm not going to have it.
Well, it's like it sucks everything in.
Oh yeah.
So you would not want that, I would assume, if you're a man, right?
Well, yeah.
Let's
Well,
face
yeah,
it.
that's true.
Let's be straight here.
You got a need for it. I don't
Keith,
Certain,
really?
certain places, maybe.
Yeah, well, but they go on your own. I mean, it's like
I
pants.
think they make different kinds for different parts
Yes.
for different.
Anything
Do
that
they?
needs to
Different
be.
areas
So it
you
doesn't
want to
suck
slim
your
down.
genitals in then,
Yes.
as a man.
As a man, I don't
So
know.
where are
I
you?
don't know about
What are
these.
you putting it on your head or something?
If you want to make
Where
your
does
head
the-
slimmer,
where
I
does
guess
the
you could.
Where does the Spanx go on a guy?
On a guy, probably around their gut,
I would
maybe
think
around
Like
their
a
breasts.
girdle?
I don't know. I mean, some guys have man boobs.
It's
That's
like,
true.
Graham
like,
knows something. Yeah.
Like a compression short, biker short type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, shorts. That's what I'm talking about. They're not shorts though, because
There's the whole top.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
they have like the little wrestling kind of suit.
But it's spandex or is it spandex or a type-
Wrestling suit. I love that picture.
Truth
It's
knows
just a
way
stretchy-
too much about
It's a
this.
stretchy type thing.
it's stretch. It's like it sucks you in.
It sucks you in. That's
It makes
true.
you look
Mhm.
Yes.
slim.
Yes.
Correct.
It hides all
Graham,
your.
are you wearing
and it
that?
hides
Spanx? No, she's
lines
not.
and
Graham's the one that
Spanx.
Are
Spanx
you wearing
free.
it right now?
No.
This is-
Really, if you're wearing a slinky dress, a lot of times a woman will wear that so that You don't show your panty lines.
Not a lot of movement.
The woman
Maybe
who created
some of the
that,
curves
Sarah, yeah, Sarah Blakely, who created the Spanx, is a multi-millionaire. I mean, Oprah is the one who first made that product famous. And
Is she really?
it's a great product. So my product is similar. The bra straps are sort of along that line. It solves this. It's a fashion solution.
So the bra straps, just because we're unbelievably moving along here, but
So sorry.
the bra straps are interchangeable bra straps. So I have my own bra. Well, not me personally,
Yes.
but a woman
should.
has it. I should. I know.
A man's ear.
I was hoping you wouldn't mention that. And then I can take the straps off my regular bra and put on your fancy over 100 different designs.
Yeah, so I have some on here.
Ah,
So,
look at that.
right.
You've been hiding that from us.
Oh, well, you know.
So that's...
I wasn't sure what to wear for this radio interview.
Douglas is going to have to get into the show. Well,
I
take
don't know
off
if the
your
viewers
jacket
think
so
I
we can
look good
see
or
it.
not. Okay, so viewers, you
Yeah.
like it?
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's a shirt like this would be an example of what I call, a fashion dilemma that a woman would have to, or a bra dilemma. A woman either has to go braless, which very few women do, or they would wear a strapless bra, and everything, gravity,
Points
heads
down.
south.
So what do you wear? This is like a tube top type thing you've got on here.
Well,
is that right?
these straps are actually attached to a bra hole.
Yeah, but what are you wearing on top of
Well,
it?
it's
How would
just-
you describe that?
I guess you could say a tube top.
Well, you can
strapless top.
strapless top. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have like a
It's a high-class tube
visible
top.
bra strap, so the bra strap becomes a fashion statement.
Yeah, I mean,
So this
and
is-
it actually makes women look skinnier because if I was to let go of these straps and gravity did its job and went south, which it would, your body takes on a whole different shape and you look frumpy. So it actually.
Well, that's why there's a bra, I assume.
Yes.
I mean, the bra is not a medical piece of equipment, is it, Keith?
No, not that I'm aware of.
It's not.
No, it's
It's
not.
just cosmetic.
cosmetic.
It's cosmetic. It's to make women look a certain way that they like or that we like, that men like or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, I think culture dictated
Right.
women wearing bras.
Right. So the bra strap
Holds up the bra.
holds up the bra. That's all it does.
Yep.
Right.
And so now.
But instead of hiding it,
Yes, instead of exposing an ugly bra strap, which everybody sees everywhere, women walking around with the bra straps trying to tuck them in, or they just don't care anymore. They just let them show. This allows women to put on a pretty strap, and you don't even necessarily know it's a bra strap. You
I
think
was
it's
just going to
jewelry.
say that. Weren't you going to say the same thing, Truth
Looks
and
like
Keith?
it's-
You were just going to
Because
say that, huh, Truth?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a bra. I mean, I would not have
Yeah, these
thought
are
that
leather.
was
So
Look
these
like
are.
they go with the top.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yep, looks like the.
looks
It
like
looks
it's holding
connected
up
to the shirt.
top.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. What are you thinking, Keith? You're the closest. How do you
No,
like it?
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you. Oh, see?
Nice, okay. It
very
does look
nice.
cool. It's sexy looking. I think that's the right word,
Thank
isn't
you.
it?
Well,
Is it supposed to be? Or is it supposed to be
I
sophisticated?
didn't know it was going to be sexy looking until it became obvious that men are very fascinated with the bra strap. I've learned that on many airplane trips. That if they
Anything
say,
in that region.
Yes. If somebody says, "What do you do?" and I say, I sell bra straps. It's an interesting 3.5-hour flight. That's all I can say.
Well, don't you know that all men like to talk about and look at women's breasts? I mean, is that news to you?
It's not news. I just say, this is like how they say all roads lead to Rome. I think the bra straps,
Well, it
are
gives
the
us
path.
it gives us a chance to stare at your breasts and gives
It gives a
and
man
talk
an open
about-
opportunity to.
yeah to talk about breasts, right? Exactly. So, what kind of conversations? What are the typical conversations a guy will have with you? What's the next line after someone says, "What do you do?" This is on a flight. Say, this is like are you in business class?
No. No. I'm
So you're
very
just in a
frugal.
regular. Okay,
Yes.
so you're just in a regular seat on the
regular
airplane.
seat, and somebody says, "What do you do?" And then I say, "I have a women's accessory product."
What
and
are they
then
thinking
say,
immediately? Tampons or something?
Oh, no, I don't know.
When I hear women's accessory,
Fashionable tampons.
I'm so
I'm
glad.
not thinking of fashion. Are
I'm
you?
so glad I don't have to say I sell tampons. That would be such
I
a
don't know
horrible-
what I would think if I heard women's accessory.
Women's accessory.
Maybe handbags. I think
or-
maybe
or
is something that I would
necklaces
think.
or earrings.
Yeah.
What would you think, Keith? Tampons? Right.
Jewelry.
Tampons are not
Jewelry
an
would be the first
accessory.
thing.
Okay, all right.
No, they're definitely not.
I thought it sounded like a euphemism for something.
No. So
Okay,
and
what's the
then,
next
and
question?
Then
They
they
say,
say,
"Oh, really?"
"Oh my goodness, let me, first of all, I might have a pair on," and they say, they get fascinated by just the idea of it.
Can I
They-
touch that?
Can I touch it?
Do they really say that?
Yeah.
No. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
They do. So.
Okay,
and
this is a whole new airplane experience.
It's like a playbook.
It's usually.
Like you know the next.
Yeah, next question. No, how many guys say, what percentage of guys say, "Can I touch that?" Really? Is that true? On a plane?
I mean, quite a few, actually.
What
like, you look at Keith. I mean, I'm not trying to get you in trouble with anybody, but he reached over and touched it, right? And
Okay.
I mean,
True,
I did.
he did.
He
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
It's just, I'm sorry. I hope,
No, that's fine.
I know there was nothing meant by it.
It's a metal. I was trying
It
to
is
figure out
interesting, though, that you did do that, because you wouldn't do that to a normal woman if she just...
No.
If she was wearing a bra, you wouldn't reach
No,
over and touch her
no,
bra.
you would not. So guys typically reach over and touch your bra strap. How interesting.
Well, I mean, if I say it's a bra strap, I mean, that's the first thing they do. Is they actually want it. Yeah, it's a bizarre. I still don't understand the psychology behind it, of what makes men so interested in a strap. It's just I don't know.
Any thoughts on that?
I mean,
Professor?
I think you pretty much outlined it. You know, no, because I think men are interested in
Where the roads lead.
Yeah, right. Going the wrong, right?
Do you make panties?
No, have not got into that.
That'd be the way to go. That would be the next conversation.
Yeah.
Imagine if you made panties and you're sitting on a plane.
Maybe my 5-year plan.
Is that? Have you got panties in mind?
Well, I thought it would be fun to have what do they call for the men, the jock? Oh yes, designer jock straps. You know, that would be something fun
to have those.
No. I would not. I've looked at pictures of those and it's not pretty.
That's not visible.
It's
The
not
thing
pretty.
about the bra strap is it's a sort of almost taboo, not really, but sort of it's underwear. But it's visible, so it makes it sort of lingerie, sort of naughty stuff.
Well, what's interesting, so 10 years ago it was underwear, and then Sarah Jessica Parker, I would say, is credited with having it shown as outerwear. She started wearing her bra as part of the outfit. I think she was one of them, and then you have Gwen Stefani and other actresses who just were wearing it as if it was part of their top.
What about Madonna back in
All of them,
1980-something when
so
she had that
probably
purple bra thing?
Yeah, so she may have been started. But what happened now is that the whole mainstream, everybody's going around with bras showing, so now it actually is a part of the outfit, whether a woman wants to admit it or not. If you can walk up and down any street and see a bra strap, which used to be something women really tried to hide. Now they just don't care. And the ones who do care are looking for the solution.
And what do women say? I mean, we know what men say. What do women say when they find out you make bra straps?
They love it. They absolutely love it because it's like all of a sudden they realize, oh my gosh, I could wear that top. I could wear that dress. You know, it's a solution. And it's fun. It makes them pretty. And our tagline is, we lift you up, like I said, said earlier. But we make
That's
women
a good one
feel really pretty.
for the jock strap as well. That would work just as well for that, if you ever get around to doing that. Right?
Okay, I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Hey, listen, we're going to move on. Truth, what about another song?
Let's do it.
Okay. What are we doing?
This is one that's a little more conceptual, I guess, because we talked about concept and just freestyle. This is about kind of balancing everything, right? You know, music, family, work, and, you know, still being able to be successful at the music. Because I feel like I've accomplished a good deal. You know, a lot of people still don't know who the heck I am. I could do a show here and like half of the audience, I'll be like, whoever heard so-and-so, and nobody will know, you know. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, I've been afforded many opportunities. We've done a lot of good work. We've covered a lot of ground. So this is about, you know, the balance. It's called Mic Checks and Balances. Yes. Balance. I might have y'all help me out on this.
That's what to say.
Yeah, like when I say oh, y'all say oh, oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
All right. We're gonna do that again at the hook. All right, check it. Look. It's been a long time coming, 100 miles still running, constant grind, make the talent match the acumen and cunning. Neat got me on the ball, about fitness and the self-defense, clearly identify forces that we fight against, who want the oil underwater. Jesus was walking on, keep beef with pigs like Israel and Lebanon. They say truth is sounding different on the tracks you're talking on. I'm trying to get my like, water for chocolate on, success in the end. What my sight set up on, an AK clip, getting fed into a megaphone, coming from a place where self-worth is minimal. Police run roughshod, black-skinned criminal, situation critical. Tired of hearing it, tell everybody get it then. Keep tweet sharing it to make quality synonymous with the name. I rock mics, cash checks, add balance to the game. Come on. It's coming up now, y'all. All right. Look. When I say oh, y'all say oh, 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 oh. I'ma say oh, then y'all say oh, 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 oh. Yeah, finally, like C.C. Peniston, excelling in this discipline, give music to the world, and now thousands are listening. You think you hear the last of this? Nola Trinidadian, I have news for all you like the Sunday morning guardian. Normal attitude, but not your average dude. Guerrilla outlook, strive to grow my own food. Community rapping, fam, how you managing that? Well, it's a well choreographed balancing act. Sincere thanks to my queen for not letting me slack. Giving birth to my daughters and having my back. Progressive lifestyle that reflect in the rap. Peace and knowledge at a cipher, man, I love being black. If I didn't do it justice, I would stop. Give it back, substance, the game lack. I had balance with the track to make quality synonymous with the name I rock mics. Cash checks, add balance to the game. Oh.
Oh.
Nah, I was just testing. Just testing. Oh.
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 Yeah. When I say oh, y'all say oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
We'll do one more verse. Cool? Yeah, class here, blast on pigs. That's part of the urban lore. That's real talk, but the black youth getting murdered more. Saying about that, and words you never heard before. African linguistics broke the French like L'Overture. Chilling where debit calls don't pump past 60. Controlling this raging spirit like I was Bixby. Bill for the love, I admit, but still. Think I'm a rapper free? Come on, y'all, get real. Anti-buck dancing, non-shuck jiving. With these lyrics, I strive for uprising, cause the efforts of officials ain't applaudable, dude. Living wage, good schools, and fresh affordable food. Out of reach, purge voter rolls, population whitewash, scraping full of waste, so when you ain't living with the lights off, to make quality synonymous with the name I rock mics, cash checks, add balance to the game. Come on. Oh, 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 oh.
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 Yeah. I said I'ma say oh, then y'all say oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
I'ma say oh, let me hear you say oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
This is the new single, by the way. Mic checks and balances. And you can request it on your local stations.
Hey.
It's a great song.
Yes. Mic checks and balances off the new album, Invent the Future.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Very
Truth.
clever.
Thank you.
Awesome. And we got to actually sing along. How about that?
That was fun.
That was my, I don't know about you guys, that was my first rap song. Lisa, was that
Did we
your-
record it?
Yes.
Yes, it's
Man, we put
recorded.
the live version up, man. I'll give you your credit.
Okay. Lisa, that'll be your first rap song as well?
The first one that I would admit to.
Oh.
I
Really?
can't sing.
Have you done some sort of karaoke before? With
Once.
Where
Once
was that?
is all it took. Probably a bar someplace, but I'm not a singer. You do.
Pilot
Great job.
Town, probably.
Good job.
Yeah,
The
that
Pilot
was-
Town.
Pilot
yeah,
Town,
the
I
Pilot
bet.
Town karaoke bar.
The
Pilot Town.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Keith, is that your first
Absolutely.
foray in the rap world?
Yeah, my daughter's the artist in our town.
What does she do?
Oh, she's just ready to go to school, but she's the artist, can sing, plays piano.
Really?
Getting ready to go to California, actually, go to college.
Wow.
So
Yep.
I have the
Thank-
analytical
Thank
son
God
and
you've
the
got the
artistic.
11
Yeah, no.
urgent care businesses making a huge amount of money.
What school is she going to?
She's going to FITM. It's the Fashion Institute for Design and Merchandising in L.A.
Well, she's
Hey,
going to come
that's
back and
kind
work
of in
for
the brass
Ooh,
trap
yeah.
bit.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
Does she want to intern over the summer in the brass trap?
I don't know.
International headquarters in
I
Covington?
suspect she'll be interning somewhere in Europe.
And you could create a little jingle for me.
Let's
And
talk.
then
Oh,
we'll all,
wow.
let's all get together.
Because I think you have a clever marketing team already, and if you give me something, I can
Oh,
run with
well,
it.
we would love that.
That
That'd
would be a
fun.
great, like a jingle that we lift you up.
Yes.
I can hear that already,
Yes.
right? That's it.
For the bra strap, not the jock strap.
No, we're not doing the jock strap.
Okay.
We lift you up. That's
We'll
kind
get
of in
Kelcy
your
Mae to do
whole
the
sort of-
jockstrap one.
That's in your sort of whole wheelhouse there as well, right? Truth. That's a whole thing. This could be great.
Yeah.
We lift you up. Keith, what's going on with you before we have to get out of here in just a minute, but before we go. So the next ones are going to open in Mid-City.
Mid-City on Carrollton, Covington.
What was in the building before it became an urgent care? What's going to become an urgent care?
I think it was a pet store.
A pet store.
A pet store. It's right next to
Oh, next to
Singer
the
Kitchen.
Subway and all that?
Subway,
and the
Singer
Papa
Kitchen.
John's.
Right across the street from Angelo Bricata's.
That's a great
on
spot.
It's a great spot.
So we'll be able to go to Drago's and Angelo Bricata's as
Yeah,
well.
no,
But
it's a
you've
good
got
spot.
it made.
And then Hammond and Covington.
Covington, which is near the world headquarters of Ula Bra.
Yes.
Yep.
Who's your doctor over there? Do you have a primary? You don't have to say his name or her name, but do you have a primary care doctor?
I don't even know what to put on the form when somebody asks me for the name of the doctor.
Me neither.
I'm not healthy, so thank goodness. I guess that's a good
But
thing.
because you can't get a primary care doctor.
Maybe that's the reason.
That's the reason, right?
I found one. I found one, and I don't want to tell anyone who he is because then he won't be available anymore. But no, he's actually. I found a really great primary care doc.
Okay, well that's good for you. I go to urgent care on Magazine Street across from the Boulangerie, and you can leave there and then you go get a croissant.
Yep.
Well, believe it or not,
I don't get that over at the West Jeff Medical Center. No, there's not. There's no avocados across the street.
Almost 70% of the people under the age of 60 do not have a primary care doctor.
Wow, 70% of the population under the age of 60 does not have a primary care doctor.
So when they
in America.
So when they get sick, they call to get an appointment. They can't get one.
Yeah, right.
Prior to urgent care, they'd show up in an emergency room, which is a horribly inefficient, overly expensive way to treat that disease.
Okay, but just stop and say this again. How screwed up is this? 70% of the population under the age of 60, because over the age of 60 you tend to get sicker, I suppose, and so you have to find a doctor for yourself.
And
most Americans don't have a doctor.
Because they're healthy. So it's episodic
problems. That's why
problems.
I don't have one. It's
right.
because
You're healthy.
But you have kids. Kids ought to have a
they
family
have
doctor.
a pediatrician.
And I should clarify, pediatricians up until the age of 16, 17, 18, everybody has one. But once you're from 18 to 55, 18 to 60, majority of people are healthy, so they don't have a need to have a consistent primary care
but you still get sick. I mean, you're supposed to have an annual checkup, I suppose. That's the whole point, right? So you don't get sick. And then once in a while something does happen to you. I've been to that urgent care twice. I can't even remember what for. Oh, yes.
Sinus infection.
My fucking cat attacked me.
Yeah.
My cat went crazy and coiled me all up, and like the next day my hands turned into
cat scratch fever.
Cat scratch fever, exactly, Kelcy. I had to go to the urgent care, but where would I have gone if it wasn't for that? I didn't have a doctor.
No, and I think that's the niche. I mean, I think, and it's getting bigger, not smaller. So,
right. Do you employ just 2 full-time doctors at the place I go to?
Yeah, most facilities, we have a nurse, we have an x-ray tech, we have a lab.
We have an x-ray tech permanently there. So you've got a whole, it's like a clinic. It's a clinic, basically.
It's a mini emergency room, for lack of a better term.
It's not really urgent care, really. It's just, it's called urgent care, but you just go to the doctor.
I think it's more like convenient care, right?
Yeah. I would go to my doctor when my cat tried to kill me. I would have gone to my regular doctor if I had a regular doctor, if I knew Kelcy better.
Well,
I
actually had a cat accident as well once,
and
I got bitten and got infected, and
me too.
Same kind of situation. I actually ended up at the urgent care. It was on Magazine. I don't think it was the same one, but they're very useful when you
don't go to that one anymore.
But urgent cares are very useful when especially
on
like this was a weekend situation, and it was like, okay, well, I do have a great primary care doctor, but that doctor's not open on Saturday, so
don't get a diabetes test when you go there, even though it's free, because you're probably going to find out you've got diabetes. 200 people in the last how long have found out
too much gin.
We started at the end of March, so it's been about 3 months.
3 months, you found 200 diabetics.
And it's just ramping up. We're actually getting ready to put up some billboards. So we've been doing some internet advertising, but haven't been advertising the program that much. Doing a lot of on-sites. We went to the city of New Orleans. We go to Walmart. So if you have a business and you want us to come on site and test your employees, we're happy to do that also.
So you test the general public at Walmart or just employees at Walmart?
This was actually a health fair, so it was the general public at their new Walmart in New Orleans East.
Yeah. Wow.
So our contacts through the Diabetes Association.
How'd you come up with this idea? You just dreamed this up, the sort of like the cancer survivor,
entrepreneur of the year, father of the year. Is that what it was?
It was
employee of the month.
I think it was a little tequila, right? So I started with the Diabetes Association because we cycle. So there's the annual Tour de Cure. Friend of mine last year was one of the fathers of the year. His daughter works for us and has diabetes. So we were attending the event, and after the event, with a little scotch on board, we were just talking, strategically, and somebody started talking about access. I think at that time I had 8 or 9 clinics. I said, we'll give away a free screen. One thing led to another. The local association got a grant from the National Association to help pay for it. So it's really worked out to be a really cool program. I'd love to tell you I had this great scheme and this great thought. It was a little bit of scotch and a bunch of people around the table. And
there you go.
That's how it came out.
That's how I write my songs too.
You do?
Exactly like that.
Well, if I could just have one good idea from smoking weed, does that work, or does it have to be alcohol?
I suspect both work.
Okay.
Both will do just
it's
fine.
not too late, right? I could have an idea later.
I think there's evidence that both of them work just fine.
Hey, were there any drugs involved in the bra strap revelation? Were you drunk or anything when
I
you came?
have no comment.
Sounds like that's a yes.
Taking the fifth.
I'm taking a fifth.
Truth, do you smoke any weed or drink any alcohol when you write? Or is it all
not since
cerebral?
1996.
What month?
He's a family man. You
What
heard that.
month?
What happened in
I don't remember.
What happened in 1996 that you suddenly stopped?
I just decided to.
Just quit.
Yeah.
Did you throw it all away? Or do you
As
still have
a
it?
diabetes
I threw it all.
screening.
I threw it all away.
Threw it all away. Did you do like a ritualistic throw it out? I've done that tons of times.
You did it a
Yeah,
lot.
I've done that a lot of times, thrown all the drugs away, and then the next day, like, damn it, now I'm going to have to go buy everything again.
Fish it out.
All the paraphernalia and everything. You know, the syringes,
Right.
you know.
Those don't flush very
No,
easily.
really,
do
did you really have a ritualistic thing, or did you just say, you know what, I'm finished with this and throw it all
I
out?
just tape it off, and this is the day, and it stopped.
Wow.
Yep.
And was that from God?
Maybe.
From Lisa? Lisa sent you a message?
Yeah, I was
I sent a message.
I was meditating on it, but it was more like a conscious effort to focus on better health.
Told you, diabetes screening.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Hey, you guys, we're going to have to get out of here.
Aw.
Shoot.
Wayfair want their tables back to actually serve some people who are, you know, paying customers. Thank you so much. My guests today on Happy Hour have been Lisa McKenzie, Keith LeBlanc, and Truth Universal. Kelcy Mae has been sitting in for Andrew Duhon. I don't know if he's coming back next week or not. Do you happen to know that, Kelcy?
I do not.
Okay, we'll find out. Thanks for joining us. Our producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe. Christian Unruh as our music director, and Joshua Brown as our music coordinator. The theme song for Happy Hour was written by and is being played currently by Mitch Foreman. The fabulous audio quality of this show is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. For more information about their wide range of sound recording equipment and software, you can check them out at presonus.com. If you'd like to be on our show and you can sit upright for about an hour around a table, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, it's neworleans.com, where you can also find many more other happy hours to listen to, along with our other shows, Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, Mindset, with psychiatrist Dr. Nick Pajic, True to the Game, with Chris True and Tammy Nelson, Vietnam, our show about the Vietnamese community in New Orleans with the Vietnamese Terry Gross, Kim Vu, and Midnight Menu +1, with Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Kanata, as well as Louisiana Eats, which you can also find on our show, on our website, it's neworleans.com. You can keep up with us on Facebook, on Twitter, and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well, and all of it, where It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show, find out what we all look like sitting around the table here at Wayfair, on itsneworleans.com, and the photos are also on Facebook. Those photos are taken by our fabulous photographer, Douglas Engel. Hey, Douglas. If you're listening to this on iTunes or on Stitcher or on Swell or some other podcast app that you like better, thank you for subscribing to us. If you could, take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Thank you this week to Hangover Destroyer. If you like to drink at night and be able to think next morning, Google Hangover Destroyer or go to hdestroyer.com. Thanks to Petite Pet Care for loving care when you're not there for your pet, that is. Go to petitepetcare.com. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street, home of the handcrafted food and spirits, where they put fine dining into a sandwich. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, who may be back next week, everyone else sitting around here at the table at Wayfair and back at the INO office, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you next time on Happy Hour.
Yo, if we go to 7-Eleven right now, we can be back in time for the game.
I don't know, man. I don't want to miss kickoff.
Okay, but Red Bulls are 2 for $5 right now when I use my 7-Eleven app.
Dude, but kickoff.
But how are we going to stay on top of our game while watching this game if we're not on that 7-Eleven game?
I don't know. How?
Keep up, dude. 2 for $5 Red Bull with my 7-Eleven app.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'm feeling you now.
Thank you.
7-Eleven. Be game day ready. Plus tax where applicable. Valid at participating locations.